before we proceed to discussing this theorem, let us first identify the parts of a given triangle. So the legs of the triangle are AB, BC, and AC. These two are what we call the legs of the triangle. AC is the base of the triangle. What do we call this DE? This DE is what we call the midline. That's the midline segment DE. Okay, so this is the base of the triangle. Base of triangle. Okay, so we have midline DE, which is parallel. When we say parallel, the two lines are not going to meet even if we extend it on both sides of the line. So we have DE is parallel with segment AC. Okay, point D and point E are what we call midpoint. So we have here the midpoint. When we say midpoint, this is a point. We have there point D and point E. This is a point that divides the given segment into two equal parts. For segment BA, we will have AD is congruent with DB. Again, midpoint is a point that divides the segment into two congruent parts. Now let's have on the other side or the other leg. For point E, it is in the middle of segment BC. So it follows that BE and EC are congruent segments. Let us write that BE is congruent with segment EC, or CE is congruent with EB. Okay, so these are the parts of our given triangle. Let us first find the midline, the one that is parallel to the third side, which is AC. So our midline is segment DE. It is half the length of the third side. So DE is equal to 1/2 of the third side, which is AC. Let's say AC, segment AC is equal to 14 centimeter. How are we going to find DE? Let's have DE is equal to X because it is still unknown. So let us use the equation here to find the midline. We are going to substitute DE is equal to X is equal to 1/2 of the AC, which is 14 centimeter. So now, what is 1/2 of 14? Correct, 7 centimeter. Now, the value of our segment DE, which is the midline, is equal to 7 centimeter. For example, how are we going to solve for the third side? DE is equal to 1/2 of AC. And then substitute the values. We have DE, 14, is equal to 1/2 constant. AC is X. So how are we going to find the value of X? We are going to use multiplication property of equality times 2 on both sides of the equation, so that 1/2 times 2 is equal to 1. 1 times X is equal to X. And then 2 times 14 is 28. This is how we solve. And now, AC, which is the third side, is equal to 28. Very good. Meters. For conclusion, if midline is given, to find the third side, it is twice, 2 times the midline. But if we are looking for the midline, we need to divide the third side by 2. We are going to focus on the legs of the triangle. Since point E is a midpoint, it divides the segment BC into 2 congruent parts. So if BE is equal to 4 centimeter, then what is segment BC? This is 4. They are congruent. Remember, BE is congruent with EC. Okay, so the answer is correct, 8 centimeter, because this is also 4 centimeter. Okay, how about on this side? If this segment BA with point D as midpoint, let's take BA. Segment BA is equal to 12 centimeter. Now we're looking for segment DA. The whole segment is 12. So what do you think is the measure from D to point A? Very good. Since we know that D is congruent with BD, then we will just divide 12 into 2 congruent parts. And that is correct, 6 centimeter. So if DA is 6 centimeter, what do you think is the measure of BD? Correct, 6 centimeter also. AB is 3x minus 1 is equal to 1/2 of 34. Okay, so what is 1/2 of 34? Very good, 17 is equal to 3x minus 1. We use addition property of equality, so we add 1 on both sides of the equation to make this equal to 0. And now we have 3x is equal to 18. We multiply both sides by 1/3. Multiplication property of equality. 1/3 times 3 is x left. And 1/3 of 18 is 6. Now we have the value of x. It's not yet the length of the midline because we just found the value of x. Now let us substitute. AB is equal to 3x minus 1. So 3 times 6 minus 1. 3 times 6 is 18 minus 1 is equal to 18 minus 1, 17. This is the length of AB. Let us check if it is correct. If XZ is 34, what is 1/2 of it? Correct, 17. Then we substitute EF is x plus 2 is equal to 1/2. What is the value of ln? X plus 10. Okay, so first we need to remove this fraction. To do that, we multiply everything with 2. Okay, so we now cancel this. And we have x plus 10 left on the right side of the equation. And then we will multiply this using distributive property. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 2 is 4. Then combining like terms, this is the value of x. Now let us solve for the segment EF or the midline. We said EF is equal to x plus 2. The value of x is 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. That's for EF. ln is equal to x plus 10. And x is 6 plus 10, which is equal to 16. Now, it is confirmed that our third side is 16, its 1/2 is 8, which is our midline.